Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody, I hope you are having a good day. Welcome to Module 12 of our course Microcontrolling Start as Professional. In this module, I will just give a quick introduction about other embedded systems, microcontroller chips. Also, I will speak about some platforms that are using these microcontrollers. So by the end of this module, you will get introduced about other microcontrollers chips, and also I will speak about Arduino, Raspberry Pi and other controlling platforms. As I told you before, AVR is one family of many other families of microcontrollers. Many companies producing a lot of microcontrollers with a lot of capabilities and a lot of specifications. So this is some of the companies or the brand names that are used in the embedded system and microcontrolling world. And as I said, AVR Atmel is one of these family, and AVR itself includes many subfamilies and microcontrollers. So some popular families are the 8051. This is actually produced by Intel, and it was, I think, one of the very early microcontrollers with very high specification at that time, and the architecture of it is still used by many vendors. BIC also is one of the famous microcontrollers. It's like produced by Microchip company. We have the AVR. We already spent around 11 modules speaking about it. There is the ARM, which is produced by UK company, and it's the main microcontroller which is used by the famous platform Raspberry Pi. Arduino is one of the platforms, and there are many other platforms. I will focus a little bit on Arduino because it's using AVR family in its platforms. So what is Arduino? Arduino is simply an open source electronic prototype platform based on flexible, easy to use hardware and software. So actually Arduino is a platform that is using one of the microcontrollers produced by Atmel AVR, and they integrate it in a circuit and provide a special software to make its programming style easier and more friendly. It's intended for artists, designers, hobbyists, and anyone interested in creating interactive objects or environment. So Arduino is not for professionals. It's like making things easier for non-professionals. Professionals like you are usually using AVR Studio, using C language, and if you are more professional, you will use the ASM. So this is one of the Arduino's platforms, the Arduino Uno, which is the most popular one. It's a development module. It's a board with a microcontroller and USB interface to a PC. Directly, no need for a programmer, no need for anything. Just connect it directly to your personal computer and install its software, and you can program the microcontroller and use it for many useful applications. So when we speak about Arduino, we say it's a platform. So what do we mean by platform? It's actually an integration of a development board which is using one of the AVR family microcontrollers. For Arduino Uno, it's Atmega 328P. It is an 8-bit microcontroller. It has a programming hardware, USB programming interface, and I/O pins. There's integrated with it a software environment, which is a cross-compiler, debugger, simulator, and programmer. And also it supports various kind of special purpose shells, which are daughter boards which can easily attach to Arduino and have a good of libraries provided with them to do a lot of functions. Since Arduino using microcontroller, it can sense the environment by receiving input from variety of sensors and affecting its surroundings by controlling lights, motors, and other actuators. So actually the Arduino platform is making the work of microcontroller easier for people who don't have very professional skills in electronics and programming. The microcontroller on board is programmed using the Arduino programming language, which is based on wiring, and the Arduino development environment, which is based on processing. You can download the software from the Arduino official website. Focusing on Arduino Uno as one of the most popular Arduino platforms, it contains everything needed to support the microcontroller. So as we said, it's a platform to support the microcontroller. It has 14 digital input-output, 6 analog inputs, 16 MHz ceramic resonators. So this is the external clock already provided, a USB connection, a power jack to give power, and a reset button already attached to the board. Hardware, as we said, Atmega is used as microcontroller. Its operating voltage is 5 volt. It can be taken between 7 to 12 volt. It has 14 digital, 6 of them provide PWM output, because actually Atmega 328 is supporting 6 PWM pins. It has 6 analog input. The current is small, it's 40 milliampere. That's why if you want to use a motor, you need to connect a driver. It has a flash memory of 32 kilobit, 0.5 kilobit used for bootloader. It has a SRAM, EEPROM, and as we said, the clock speed is 16 megahertz. So this is the microcontroller. So Arduino is not a microcontroller. This is the microcontroller which is fixed to the Arduino. And this is Atmega 32 pin mapping. As you see, it has 3 boards. It is supporting PWM and it's supporting the analog. So this is ADC 0, ADC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it supports 6 analog input. For the PWM, we have OC1A, OC1B, OC2A, OC0A, OC0P, and OC2P. Okay, so 6 pins for PWM. The programming language, which is Arduino software, is using different way for doing the same things that we do using AVR Studio. So for example, here we give a constant number 13, so that means LED pin will be replaced by number 13, which is the pin 13. So to do, instead of using DDR, we use pin mode LED, which is 13. We define it as output. So you see, it's like still related to C, but the way of dealing with the hardware is different, and it's more easier and understandable for people who are not very familiar with the real structure of the microcontroller. To do the PWM using the Arduino, so this is the duty cycle. So if we set the duty cycle to 128, that means it's 128. That means it's half of the 255. So the duty cycle is 50%. And to generate the PWM, we just write analog write brightness, which is the value of the duty cycle. Away of Arduino and AVR, there are other platforms. One very famous nowadays is Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi is using ARM microprocessors. It's actually a full computer. It supports operating system Linux. The Raspberry Pi software is 30-bit machine software. It takes Linux. Debian is the famous one used for it. It can take other like Fedora and Arch Linux. It's actually a full computer and can connect it to the screen to see the screen, but cannot support very high graphical user interface and integrated development environment, but it's still working as a computer. Also, it supports Python for programming. Very similar to Raspberry Pi, there is what's called the BeagleBone Black. It's also using ARM microprocessors. It has very high speed and it's like used more toward industrial applications. Also, it supports Linux. It can take Ubuntu and it supports higher GUI, but still not very high. Very similar to Raspberry Pi. Also, it supports the JavaScript library and uses an interpreter. Similar to Arduino, it has application specific stackable daughter boards, just like Arduino shells, and also it supports a lot of libraries. So basically, this is the very famous platforms and the popular microcontrollers. I already speak about them just to give introduction. If you are interested to learn about them, I think you are already equipped with the information that allow you to go and search for book, internet sources, and other things will help you to proceed. So this course, I just give you the basics, and I am confident that you have the enough skillful things to be considered as professional, to continue your way to understand more and more by yourself by applying the lifelong learning. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in other videos.